Here we're going to detail how to install the Trogg new Funtastic series Nintendo 64 console shells. First, let's look at what's in the box. The top and bottom shell, security bit and spare security screws, 2 sets of cartridge slot flaps, 2 cartridge flap springs, memory expansion cover, AV shroud, 2 sets of feet, indicator light cover, power and reset buttons, region-free cartridge tray, EXT port cover, Ultra 64 logo jewel, clear jewel, 2 strips of double-sided tape, and 2 rubber feet. The two-tone shell options also come with an additional set of power and reset buttons that match both the top and bottom shell colors. Note that on the top cover you may notice an imperfection above the cartridge slot opening. This is not a defect, but a mark from where the plastic meets inside the mold during manufacturing. This same mark can also be found on original equipment manufacturer or OEM units. Unlike the OEM units, there is a recessed plastic area underneath the AV output intended to accommodate HDMI modifications if you have one or intend to get one. In order to begin the process, you'll need a multi-bit screwdriver with 2 different sized Phillips head bits and the ability to attach the included security bit. It is also recommended to perform this process on a soft surface to avoid scratching the shell. First, turn your Nintendo 64 over and remove the security screws using the included security bit. The front 2 screws also hold the system's feet in place. You can save these screws to reuse in the new Funtastic series shell or use the ones included in the box. Next, remove your jump pack or expansion pack and set it aside. Next, choose which color cartridge slot flaps you want to use, and attach the springs like so. Then set them aside. Remove the top shell from your console, then remove these screws, using a large Phillips head bit. Note that these screws are not all alike. The ones securing the power supply input and the AV shroud are silver and slightly smaller. The 2 on either side of the cartridge port are longer, and the 2 surrounding the expansion pack slot require a smaller Phillips head bit. Once you've removed these screws, lift the motherboard off of the bottom of the console shell. The AV shroud will no longer be attached. From the bottom shell, remove these metal brackets, as well as the indicator light cover if you want to reuse this instead of the one included with your new Funtastic series shell. Transfer these pieces onto your new shell, then place the motherboard on top with the AV shroud in place. Now replace the screws you removed earlier. Be careful not to over-tighten them, as that can cause damage to the plastic parts. Next, on your existing console's top shell, detach the cartridge tray, removing the screws on either side. Set those screws aside. Using your original system as a guide, carefully hold the cartridge flaps in place on your new top shell and apply the region-free cartridge tray. Once this is in place, use the screws to fasten it to the unit, again being careful not to over-tighten. Next, attach the power and reset buttons by snapping them into place. Now place the top shell over the bottom, lining it up so it fits firmly in place. Turn the unit over and replace the security screws, and choose whichever colored feet you want to apply to your shell. Then attach the EXT port cover and the rubber feet here and here. Turn your system back over and reinsert your jump pack or expansion pack, then apply the memory expansion cover. Finally, attach whichever jewel you want on the front of your console. Using the included double-sided tape, you can attach the Ultra 64 jewel, or create your own and place it behind the included clear cover. You can also reuse your original Nintendo 64 jewel. Since the original is held onto the system with double-sided tape, press through the holes behind the jewel to loosen it, then peel it off. If the adhesive is still functional, you can reuse it to apply the jewel directly to your new shell. If not, make sure you remove all pre-existing adhesive before applying the included double-stick tape to prevent the jewel from not sitting flush against your unit. Now connect the power supply and AV cables to your machine, and you're ready to play. If you run into any problems or need further assistance, contact Trogg at our website.